Parrotfish is without a doubt one of the main species in Madeira, not because they are the biggest or even the most exciting to hunt, but simply because they are everywhere. If you dive here, you will see them, and I mean a lot. Parrotfish, or budião as we call it here in Madeira, live in almost every ocean around the world, but in different variations. Here, just like in the Azores and the Canary Islands, we have the so-called Mediterranean parrotfish. Around Hawaii and Australia and even the Caribbean, these guys get pretty huge, but it's a different variation of the same species. Around Madeira, they will not grow as huge, but with the odd-sized specimens from time to time. In Azores, this phenomenon gets a bit weird as they get huge quantities of parrotfish, and especially in bigger sizes. It's very often to catch them above 1 kilo or even 2. They call it a different name, but it's actually the same fish. In Madeira, you'll find them mostly around rocky areas, often in big schools. The adults are usually between 20 and 30 centimeters, weighing a bit less than 1 kilo. They are mostly out in the open, grazing on algae, and it's very rare to see them inside holes or caves. The smaller ones are generally hanging around algae and tend to be a bit more distracted, while the bigger ones usually spot you from a distance and they swim away as soon as you dive. Weirdly enough, even on the same island with similar bottom structures, you will get areas that you see lots of them, but you will get other spots that you will see none. I can only assume this is due to the algae that grows on each spot, and this is preventing some parrotfish to go there. They are also a good indicator if a spot is fishy or not, so when you see lots of them, maybe it's a good idea to hang around to see if something else appears. They are easily identifiable by their bright colors, especially when they are younger. By no means what I would call a difficult fish to hunt. Nonetheless, they can get pretty nervous and sometimes it gets a bit hard to get them. What makes them so special is their beak-shaped teeth that they use to scrape algae off the rocks and the reef. A bit of a fun fact is they all start life as a female, usually with bright red and yellow colors. Later on, some will change into males, showing a more greyish tone. Adult females are a bit rarer, especially in larger sizes, but you see one from time to time. They also have huge scales, and cleaning them at home makes a huge mess. So the tip for you is always clean them on the water, as it's way easier, and you might even get the bonus that you attract some other fish while you're doing it. When you are cleaning them, you will see that their bellies are full of sand due to the rocks that they chew, and this is why they are so important to the ecosystem. By eating algae, they do eat some rocks in the process, and they will digest these rocks and turn them into sand. Later on, they will expel this sand. You can even see them doing this from time to time when they are swimming. Some studies even suggest that 70% of the sand in the Caribbean has been processed by parrotfish. So next time you lay your towel on the beach, you might be just lying on recycled parrotfish poop. In volcanic islands like Madeira, the rocks are black and so is the sand that they produce, in contrast to the white sand that you will get on the Caribbean due to the reef structure and the coral reef that they eat there. Spearfishing tips. I will say that parrotfish is probably one of the first fish that most people will catch in Madeira, but that doesn't mean they are always easy, especially the bigger ones. If you see one from the surface, the best approach is to drop silently above them if they are distracting, scraping rock or something, and maybe use another rock to cover. As with many other species, it's always a good idea to not show that much interest, as if you just go sprinting into them, they will just swim away. What I will do most of the times is to drop as silent as I can to the bottom and try to land on the opposite side of the fish with some bigger rock in the middle between me and the fish that I want. And then, as soon as I arrive there, I will start creeping over the rock and peeking over and see if I can surprise the fish on the other side. Another good strategy, especially if you see a bigger school, is to just drop to the bottom and stay still. Maybe even rattle the gun a little bit, and you will see with sufficient time their curiosity will bring them closer to you. And this is how you will usually get the bigger ones. You'll see that once you dive down, they will swim away a little bit, but with sufficient time they will start going towards you a little bit more and get you a better opportunity for a shot. And speaking of good shots, when they are in range, just aim behind the head. That gives you the best chance to land the fish, and especially because parrotfish tend to twist a lot and just loop around the shaft, and if you get a bad shot, they will just tear immediately. Since they have massive scales, It happened to me already to get them at an angle and the shaft didn't even penetrate the scales, and I'll just end up with one scale at the tip of the shaft and just watch the fish swim away. Since they are quite abundant here in Madeira, you don't have any specific regulations targeting them, but like any other fish, you should target the adults above 20 centimeters more or less, and just like any other species here, you can only catch 5 per day, which is honestly more than enough. Catching and cooking them. Now, even though parrotfish aren't the flashiest or the most prestigious catch in Madeira, they are actually pretty tasty. Their meat is white, flaky and mild, perfect grilled, fried or even a stew. Personally, I like to stock a few, cut them into big chunks and cook them in a fish stew together with some potatoes or some pasta. The only downside, they have a few thin bones that some people don't love, but apart from that they are super versatile. And it's always a good addition to your barbecue with friends. Especially on the charcoal grill, they will get a nice taste with a few drops of lemon on top, and you will be finishing your dinner wishing that you had catched more. I also have heard that some ceviche or even some sashimi made of them, it's actually pretty good, but I never tried it myself. So there you have it, the parrotfish. Colorful, abundant and surprisingly tasty. Give it a try and let me know if any of these tips worked for you, and stay tuned for the next episode of Madeira Fish Species. Hope you liked the video and see you on the next one.